Welcome to the Ultimate Intimacy Podcast. I know I'm starting,
That's
doesn't
good.
right? That's never happened before. But welcome, Austin, back to our episodes.
Thank
Welcome,
you.
Nick, my awesome husband, who thinks he's the least liked person on the podcast, but he's probably the number one.
Yep.
You're not going to say anything today, yeah?
No, I think in almost 500 episodes, that's the first time you've introduced us, made the introduction.
Too. I was
No,
like, do I
no,
start
no, no,
now?
no. She looked at me, she's like, what do I do?
Yeah,
What do I
yeah.
do?
That's awesome.
We have Austin back today on this Friday episode. We are going to dive in today on why your marriage needs to come before your kids. And I am very, very, as a mom, passionate about this topic, and I'm going to tell you why. Because our kids are moving out. That's why. I see them putting like our relationship, like my personal mom, daughter, mom, son relationship on the back burner because they're picking girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. My son's picking his friends, he's picking college, he's picking his life. That's how it's supposed to be. My daughter's picking her boyfriend, she's moving out next week and picking life, and that's how it's supposed to be. That's how we raise them. We want them to find spouses. Um, I feel like as a mom and maybe a dad too, like they hit those teenage years and all of a sudden you're not their favorite person anymore. It's probably supposed to be like that, and that's okay. That's healthy. And so my point is like we dawdle and cater to our children all these younger years, and we put our marriage kind of on the back burner. We shouldn't, but we often do. We often prioritize everything and everyone above our marriage. It just starts to happen, and we start to realize, when the kids start picking other people or moving out, like, oh my gosh, it literally is going to be the two of us at the end of the day. And I have a lot of friends that are in this new, all their kids are moved out stage, retirement stage. They're starting to get those
Are
years
you
where
that
they're
old?
like, no. But I have some friends like, you know what? We're approaching, you're 50. We're approaching our 50s. We're approaching that, maybe not quite. So I have friends that, 10 years older, they're starting to hit that retirement. I play pickleball with some older ladies that are full on retirement, and they're like, wait, we don't even know if we like each other anymore. We don't
Right.
even know who each other are. I put my kids and our family above our marriage for a lot of years. And that's what breaks my heart. Sorry, I'm rambling. But if you love your kids, and we see this in our marriage, we talk with this about our kids. Our kids thank you for putting your marriage first. We have tried so hard, especially the last few years, to be like, marriage can be great. We want you guys to go into your own marriages and make it great.
Yeah.
And that comes from keeping your marriage prioritized over all the years of raising children. And I
Yeah.
want to discuss in this episode why that's so important, why that benefits the kids, how it benefits everybody, because creating that healthy foundation, an emotional healthy foundation in your marriage benefits everybody. And it really does. And I'm seeing that. We are seeing that in
Yeah,
real
no
life.
question. Yeah.
Yeah, I this comes up with couples all the time. Like that feels like a lot of times it's like I don't have a lot of time and energy, right? A lot of couples, the time they have for each other is like at the end of the day when the kids are in bed and they're exhausted. And the language I hear a lot is like I feel like I have one more obligation to do instead of now I get to hang out with my spouse. Now I get the kind of the reward of the day, right? And so you said something I think really really valuable that uh, so the divorce, well, you didn't say this but it sparked something for me. Okay, so the overall divorce rate is going up, but there's only one demographic that's actually changing, that's lifting the whole thing, and
Mhm.
it's the above 55.
Yeah.
Okay, and the reason for that is exactly what you're saying. It's like, hey, people are living longer, so I still might have 30 years. I don't know you, and I don't think I like you anymore. I'm going to go find someone else because you didn't nurture it. So people have all these resentments, and then kids are out of the house, and it's more lonely because right when you're doing the kid and the work, it can kind of serve as a distraction in a way to like, hey, we're both actually lonely, but we're doing this thing. Then they're out of the house, you're retiring, and it's like, oh, hey, we haven't built this intimacy, this vulnerability, this we don't know each other anymore, right? And so, right when couples start out, yeah, they may know that they want to have children and have a family, but they typically get married because they like the other person. Like, I want to spend my life with you and I want to raise kids with you. And it's a very common thing where once kids come, so much happens for each, right? And both are feeling different pressures and different exhaustion and all, like, you're in it together.
Yep.
And it can be hard to like create that ongoing intimacy of like, I understand your experience. So very frequently when I'm with a couple, it's not uncommon to talk about like, where did things start to change after the birth of our first child or when she got pregnant, and right. And I'll start to ask them questions and they'll realize we didn't even know each other's experience during that time. For example, he'd be like, I didn't know you felt, nauseous this often. And she'll be like, I didn't know you felt, more pressure to find, provide financially or whatever it is. It's like they stopped investing in seeing each other. And then it's like, it's almost like they got pulled apart, right? And so what you're talking about, Amy, is why do we want to prioritize our marriage? Well, when your marriage is great, it gives you the energy to do everything else, right? Like for men, like when a relationship's going good, like men often say, like, when I'm able to get that kind of femininity, that love, that intimacy, like I can carry more weight. I can do the hard stuff. And when a woman feels like she's getting what she needs from her husband, not just intimacy, but like support and understanding and providing this space where she can be mom, it helps her be better mom, right? Because so much of parenting is it's giving, or even women will just go like, I'm constantly giving, or things are being taken from me. And if he's taking too instead of giving something of value, that creates a divide. And so this happens all the time with couples where she's exhausted or busy or whatever. He's feeling burnt out and neglected, and so he starts to feel needy instead of, can I bring something? She's feeling exhausted, and instead of bringing something to give, she feels like it's being taken. And this is where resentment grows frequently. Okay.
Yeah. So that
And
perfect.
so, if couples prioritize, this is where people get stuck. Like, what do you mean I'm going to neglect my child for my adult spouse?
That's what we
No,
hear.
what we're saying is you prioritize time. You probably need less time than you think. People can be pretty understanding, but the truth is we all have the same amount of time. I see couples, like I've met with couples that they're like, we have 11 children and we're not here because our marriage isn't working. We're here because we need some help in balancing the right. And so they're not like at odds because they're investing, even with 11 children and all this stuff. It's like
Yeah.
we still spend some time together. We're not in a negative marriage space. We just need some help. How do we carry this, right? How do we support each other in it? And so for all of us to go, okay, like, yes, raising children takes time. They also go to bed, right?
They do that. Well, they hope so.
We also all can look at our phones and go, oh, I'm giving this thing a lot of attention, or your Netflix history or whatever.
Mhm.
So I tell couples all the time, turn off the television, turn off the sports game, stop going out with your friends, and like prioritize your marriage till it's full. Then do some other stuff.
Add that
And
back in
Well,
when you can.
I've told this before, and I'll say it again because we have a lot of new listeners. But I remember Amy was on social media and she was talking, she posted a video on putting your spouse first and talking about exactly what we talked about. And this guy writes in and he says, I just don't have any time. I literally don't have any time to put my spouse first in the relationship. And they go back and forth for like 3 hours on and off. And, Amy, I think you said something like, well, golly, he's got 3 hours to talk to me, but he doesn't have like a couple minutes to talk to his wife. And
Mhm.
it really is so true. And the other point I want to make that we've hit on too is it prioritizing your marriage over your spouse isn't about
For your kids.
a time.
You said over your spouse. Prioritize
Oh
your
yeah, yeah,
marriage
yeah.
over your kids.
Sorry, prioritizing your marriage over your kids isn't about time. Like Amy and I, it might be for every marriage it's different, and you need to talk about that as a couple. And you might be able to prioritize your marriage with 30 minutes of time. What that means is that hey, for 30 minutes, we're gonna make our
Mhm.
relationship important, and that if that means having a good conversation or being intimate or whatever, like most men it's not a time thing like, oh, you gave the kids 9 hours and you only gave me 4 hours, right? Like it's every marriage is different, but it doesn't putting your marriage before your kids isn't neglecting your kids and saying, oh my heck, we're gonna just, neglect them and go do all these fun things together. It literally isn't a time thing. It's about prioritizing what's
Well,
important.
any man that receives a text that said, "Hey, babe, I appreciate all you did for me today," a 10-second text, or a, "Hey, can't wait to spend some time, 30 minutes with you tonight when you get home from work," or just a nice greeting when he walks in the door from work, he's going to be like, "My wife just prioritized my marriage." She could have been with the kids 12 hours that day, and he's going to feel more prioritized just by a little loving act.
Yeah.
Just that simple. If you say, "Hey, I'm initiating tonight," once every 2 weeks, he's going to be like, "Yeah, my wife prioritizes my marriage."
Right.
It's
Right.
just that simple.
Priority is not a time word. Priority is a rank word, right? It doesn't even mean more valuable necessarily. Like it's humans, it's children humans, it's spouse human. It's this is a order that allows things to flow. When it's upside down and there's no time for your spouse, your kids are being taken care of, but what's not being taken care of for your kids is they don't get an example of a healthy marriage, right? And so, I can't remember the statistics, but like a vast, like high majority of people will be in romantic relationships and you're the primary model. And so if you're neglecting your marriage to take care of your kids aren't learning how to have a successful romantic relationship and they will experience much pain in the future even if they had, a super rad birthday party and they went to the, play dates 7 days a week. Cool. They'll love you and then when they move out of their house, they'll be lonely.
Yeah.
Is
But they're
right?
going to forget about the birthday party.
Right.
Sorry.
Right. And
As
so
an
I
adult and they're going through pain and divorce in their own marriage, they're not going to remember a stupid birthday party. They're just not.
the best gift you can give your children is to show them what it's like to have a healthy romantic relationship, right? And so when you put your romantic relationship as the priority, you're exactly right. Little doses go a long way, and then everything's better. And the truth is, couples can make time. Like one of my mentors, I learned this really early. He said, when I start working with a couple, and I do this, I have couples typically choose, but a lot of my method is like, I'm going to help you construct the life you want. That means you're going to spend some time together because you like each other, is the idea here. But he used to tell couples, if you work with me, you have to set aside, in addition to therapy, 15 hours a week together. Okay. Couples will be like, how do we do that? And he's like, well, you prioritize around 2 hours a day or around an hour and a half. And then you do a date night once a week for 4 hours. And he's like, go out, building on last episode, go out, have some fun, have a meaningful conversation, have some affection, make love, like spend real time together, knowing each other. Otherwise, you're business partners running a family. You're not lovers. You're not romantic partners, which is what started the whole thing out, ideally, right? And so when couples, I would say, kind of shift back into like prioritizing one another, they actually start to parent better because they're seeing each other in that also. Okay. When, especially for a woman, like when a woman feels like her husband is really invested in, I want to parent with you. Like I want to be a team in what we're raising and I want to know what's going on with the kids. That also for a lot of women is a form of intimacy where it's like I feel the closest to you when we can like be in tune with the kids. And then it's easier for me to not carry the full burden of care because you're aware too and I see you meeting their needs and now it's a more balanced effort. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah, it makes a
totally.
lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've
And
seen
so go ahead, Nick.
Oh, I was just gonna say we've seen a drastic difference in our kids. Like when we prioritize our marriage, and our kids see it now to the point to where they're like, "Oh, it's Friday night. You guys are going out. Where are you going?" And they know like we're spending time together. But it's amazing the conversations we have with them, especially as they're getting older. They're really talking to us about like, "Hey, what type of spouse do I want, and what type of marriage do I want?" And
What do I do to get that?
yeah, like it's amazing. They constantly are like, what I want a relationship like yours. Like what can we do to get that? And I think it's a real blessing to put your marriage
And we're not
Or
bragging because it took
no,
change in our
no.
marriage. It took a lot of change in our marriage. It took me going from I'm catering to my children and my business all the time to be like, whoa, we just realized our marriage is on the back burner. We had to make that flip,
Yeah,
right?
Right. Yeah.
And
everything.
it wasn't a major flip. It wasn't like we started neglecting anything. It was just we had to balance better.
Unfortunately, for most of the things Amy and I have made changes in, it's because we were doing things the wrong way.
I think we all do, right? It's coming to this place of like, hey, this isn't working the way we want. We want something different. I use the word let's restructure. Okay. So that change you guys made is like we still have the same amount of time. We're gonna structure the way we use it. And there is a lot of value. Like I think a lot of couples don't realize this. Like you can be doing family time and you're with your kids and they're getting their needs met and you're still prioritizing your spouse. It's as little as like, hey, we're doing an activity with the family and I come up and I put my hand on his shoulder or I walk over and I just say, hey, you look beautiful. Like super easy, honestly. I sit with couples sometimes and it actually it breaks my heart sometimes because I feel like their bar to be happy is like so low because they've been neglected so much. And I go, hey, this is so easy. If you just did this, your spouse would like feel over the moon
It,
and
Mhm.
you're not
it's
even aware of it.
it's so true. I'll give an example. Let's just say we're sitting in church, right? You look around at some couples and they're never sitting together, they're far apart, and even just as simple as church, like Amy and I sitting next to each other, holding hands, her rubbing my back, things like that. Like we're something
You're
as sim-
already there.
something as simple as sitting in church, but we're still connecting, right? We're like just sitting next to each other versus her sitting on the other side of the kids, I'm sitting over here, and we have no connection whatsoever. Like it really is just these little simple things that are choices to to
So
make each other a priority.
yeah, so I shared a video a couple days ago on social media, and it was a repost of one that I made a while ago, and it was two different boxes, one of us showing us having a connected marriage and the other one having showing a disconnected, more of a disconnected marriage. But it was just little tiny things that we're doing, like holding hands while we're walking, giggling on this outside on the swing, when we're just sitting there, walking by and touching each other, just simple things compared to like the opposite, right? Like more of a roommate marriage. And I think it hit like 1 million views again, which just means it was impactful for people, which is great. But I got one comment from a lady, I can't remember which social media channel it was on, and she's like, I just think it's funny that you guys can sit on the swing and giggle and laugh together, yet and neglect your kids like that. I can't remember what she said. I'm going to destroy it, but who has the time to neglect and sit on the swing and laugh together? My kids would be running in the road. And I'm
Right.
just like, okay, just something like that is like this automatic excuse in your mind that you're neglecting your children because we were like having a couple minutes to ourselves. Like, put the swing in the backyard, go to the park where there's no cars. Like, you're just trying to automatically come up with some idea that you don't want an intimate marriage, right? And obviously that's deeper things, but like we really do have a choice every day. Like if you want a good marriage, it's a choice that you make. You get to choose how much screen time you want on your phone. You get to decide at the end of your life if you want to have watched 1 million reels in your life on Instagram, or
Right.
you spent all that time not wasting time on your phone that did nothing good for your life because you poured into your marriage for that hour every day instead. Like those are choices. We're all adults. And you get to decide what kind of marriage that you want to have. And it really just comes down to what choice do I want today? I can strengthen my marriage for 30 minutes or I can go swipe my phone. The choice is yours, you
Well,
know?
I think this idea, like intimacy, is actually uncomfortable for a lot of people. We honestly really should like train this in schools. I'm going to call it intimacy capacity. Okay, like how do I word this? As a therapist, one of our trainings is like you're going to sit with things you have never even thought about. Okay, and you're going to be in that room for like 50 minutes with strangers, and they're going to tell you the like worst stuff that happened to them as a kid, and like it's going to affect you. Like you're going to cry in session with strangers, like you're going to, right? And I remember that. I'm like, I this is hard, horrible, right? And so you're in it with someone and
Mhm.
you're seeing them and they're opening up and like your capacity to sit with whatever's there increases. We call it therapy muscles, what I call it, right? Well, that's the same concept in a marriage. Like, can I just see you? Can I be with you? Can I hear you? I don't have to necessarily solve it. There's things that I go, man, I can't be with that 5-year-old version of you. We can repair the effects, but like that kid was alone, and that's just sad. It's just sad, right? So where I'm going with this is a lot of couples, these types of things are excuses with like it's uncomfortable for me to connect, to be intimate, or I'm afraid of rejection because it didn't work well. The truth for most people is when their marriage ends, guess what they make time for? Dating someone new.
Okay.
And guess
Sure.
what's
Good point.
typically happening? Now you're neglecting your children. I hear it all the time from adults whose parents went and dated, or teenagers that where it's like, yeah, my parents divorced and now my mom's gone all the time, or my dad, and whatever. And it may not even be other people. It's like hobbies all the time, whatever. So I think there's enough time to meet your kids' needs and your spouse's wants and to have a beautiful marriage and family. God put them together for a reason. The best place to raise children is in a healthy, happy marriage. Like that's the best place. It's not, yeah, I have a mom and a dad and they don't really like each other and they don't, like that's not the best place. And so, this episode maybe can feel like a little fire. Okay. Some
Oh, it's
people
a good
we
one.
need, right? We need to
Need to hear it.
Yeah, we need to hear
prioritize,
it though.
because couples can do this. And the thing of it is if you truly like, you're probably going to pour into someone else, pour into the person you have right now. Like, you have the ability to light them up. And it's typically pretty simple. Like, hey, I really appreciate that thing you did. I hear this from men all the time. Like when a marriage is struggling, sex typically goes away. And a man's first goal typically isn't sex. It's typically, hey, like this isn't going well for me. And I'm like busting my butt, working really hard. And a woman will say the same, whether that's work in the home or work. Just that appreciation, like, hey, I appreciate that you work so hard for our family. Like that shifts stuff almost instantaneously. And so when we talk about prioritizing a marriage, again, it doesn't have to be 15 hours a week, but you probably could. I mean, truly, most couples probably could. Um, Kids go to school. I know you have work and jobs and things like that, but even like you're at the sports game together and it's just this little bit of like, hey, I'm glad I'm here with you and I'm glad we have children together and thank you. Like, I tell people that people don't love this, but like having a happy marriage actually is not that hard. What's hard is having a sucky marriage. That's hard. That's hard. Having a happy marriage is it's the best, right? It's enjoyable and it doesn't take infinite amount of effort. It takes prioritization of you matter to me and I'm going to make sure you know it. And when that's in place, we're probably going to enjoy the way we spend time together, whether that's a conversation, whether that's recreation, whether that's making love, right? Like we're going to enjoy that more because we're feeling seen and cared for. It's easier to do these types of things together because they're mutually enjoyable. So any thoughts with that? Things to add?
Oh, I think that's a great episode, great way to end. And
Yeah,
I
I
mean, it
mean,
couldn't
we
have been
really,
perfect. Yeah.
we really could end it right there. You said it was fire. I think sometimes even us, even anybody, even people in good marriages just need real little reminders that like the level of our intimacy in our marriage really comes down to us. Like it really does. It really is a choice every day. You're like, I can decide to have a disconnected marriage today, or I can decide to not be selfish and pour a little bit more into this area, and it doesn't have to be a lot, you know?
Great. I
It's a
agree.
choice. Can you imagine like all the people that you meet with and all the people that we hear from, if they woke up each morning, they're like, I wonder how I could really love my spouse just a little bit better today. If every one of those like thought that about their spouse, like what a different place this would be.
I'll maybe end my portion with this. I I tell couples all the time, like I guide this 10-minute, 15-minute thing when I do like a first session or a breakthrough type situation. And I help them connect to themselves and like really see who are you and who do you want to be seen as? And we all want to be seen for our lovability. And then I start to do this thing of how do you think your spouse wants to be seen and admired and respected? It's going to be the similar, right? And I say, if you just took this little bit of time to get in tune with, you have the ability to light this person up just by, hey, gratitude or appreciation or complimenting, and they feel at a higher level. they're going to reciprocate and you're both going to rise together, right? And so I think exactly what you're saying. Like I tell couples, start your day with your stewardships, is what I would say. Like, right? If you believe that your spouse was given to you by God, like you have a stewardship to care and love for this person. Start your day with that instead of your to-do list or your phone or your anxiety, right? Like, hey, I'm going to start with getting in tune with who am I today? I'm a husband, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a father. How do I want to do this instead of life hitting you and you're just kind of reacting and getting stuff done? There's a lot of really efficient people that get a lot done that translates to not much, right? So it's becoming very intentional. And I think the best practice a couple can do is what you're talking about, Amy. Like start your day with, hey, I'm going to think about this person that has committed their whole life to me. And I'm going to show that I value that. I value you as a person, not what you can do for me. I value you, like who you are. That's a shift that does magic in a marriage. So
It's true.
Yeah. Great way to end. I think this is a great podcast and very important, especially among all the people that we hear that are putting their kids first and thinking that that's the right thing to do. So, um, really appreciate you being on, Austin. Like I said, we just love having you on. If anyone wants to reach out to Austin, reach out to us, Amy at ultimateintimacy.com. And we got some exciting episodes coming up in the future with Austin, some exciting things that we're doing as well. So stay tuned for those. And until next time, we hope all of you find ultimate intimacy in your relationship.